Hey guys, it's Vera Wylde, back again with more tips for beginning cross-dressers. I say it every time, but once again, these are just general tips. This is not a tutorial. I'm not an expert, but it's general advice that hopefully those of you just starting out will find useful. Now, we took a break the last few times from talking about makeup. We're going to get back into that. We're going to start talking about the eyes. So there's actually a lot going on with eyes, so we're not going to cover everything. This time we're just going to talk about eyeliner. Now, eyeliner is very important because it does help draw a lot more attention to your eyes. Now, today, just to kind of make the point, I have actually lined a bit thicker than I normally would. I personally use a black eyeliner, and you can see lined there, basically as much on the lash line as I can get it, which does take quite a bit of practice. I know for myself, the reflex to blink whenever I would bring the eyelining pencil close to my eye was very, very strong, and it takes a while to sort of get over that. So you will go through a period of time where you won't be able to stop blinking. You'll keep blinking, you'll smudge, you won't get a clean line. With practice, that will get better. Now, I don't line my upper lid. The reason being that I use false lashes, which I'm not going to talk about today. I will talk about that another time. But using false lashes means that when I put them on, they cover up any sort of upper lid lining that I would have done, which is why I don't bother with it. So when talking about liners, they come in a couple of different styles. I personally I don't, I have to be honest, I don't know if there's an actual name for these, but they're sort of almost lipstick style. They come out and they just sort of smudge on. You can get ones that are a bit more like pencils and they need to be sharpened. I personally don't care for those, just because when they're not sharp, they do a thicker line. They tend to smudge, and when they are sharp, at least for me, bringing a sharpened eyeliner to my eye just kind of freaks me out. But that's my personal hang-up, so you may find your preferences elsewhere. Now, there's also liquid liners, which, again, something I don't use largely because they sort of became a bigger thing after I had finally gotten a handle on these, and I just don't have the patience to learn a different kind of liner. But liquid liners, if you do have the patience, and they do take a bit of work because they're even less forgiving than normal eyeliners in terms of if you slip at all and it just looks a mess. But if you get it right and you get a clean line, it does look wonderful, particularly if you are actually going to do upper lid lining. A liquid liner will give you a very nice look for that. Again, I don't because I have false lashes. Now, the other thing that eyeliner is very good for is actually filling in the eyebrow, because when I apply my foundation and then my powder over that, inevitably some of it will get into the eyebrow, and it sort of makes the eyebrow fade into the rest of the face as far as coloring goes. So just using a bit of eyeliner, and in this case I do use a brown because that is what my eyebrows would be normally, to just sort of fill that in a little bit. And also it allows you to give your eyebrow a more feminine definition. As you can see, it sort of gets thinner as it goes out. That's not how my actual eyebrow is. It's actually a bit fuller than this, but you don't fill all that you have in. It allows you to give a more feminine look to your eyebrows without having to actually pluck them into a feminine shape, which for a lot of dressers really isn't really an option, just because if you're going about your day-to-day life as a man having feminine shaped eyebrows, it's a little bit awkward. But that's pretty much it for eyeliner. It is an essential really in terms of bringing attention to your eyes and making just this area pop a little bit more. So it is definitely something worth learning. It does take a lot of practice. There are shades of eyeliner. I use a black generally, and I did tonight because it makes it look makes it stand out more, and obviously I wanted to draw as much attention as possible for this video. But you can get different shades of eyeliners. You can get browns, you can get more muted tones, which will still draw attention without giving you, the more raccoon look, which I'm pushing a little bit today. But that's it for eyeliners, and we'll be back with more another time. Until then.